Hey there, everybody. It's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate market statistics are for Hillsborough County for April 2024. Now, if you would like your own copy of this report, there will be a link in the description down below so you can follow along. And on that report, you might notice that even though I'm calling these the April stats, the month on the report is March. Why is that? Well, March is the most recent month that we have complete statistics. I don't typically like to do daily or week-to-week statistics because there can be things like storms or holidays or just some other odds and ends that just really affects the week-to-week. Most recently, we had a Easter holiday. So I usually tend to compare month to month because that gives enough time for everything to kind of get smoothed out a little bit. The other piece we're comparing here is we're not comparing month to month. So we're not comparing March 2024 to February 2024 necessarily. What we usually want to look at is March 2024 compared to March 2023. And the reason why we compare year to year versus month to month is because during the typical calendar year, there's a natural ebb and flow to real estate. Wintertime, there's typically a little bit less activity than there is in late spring and summertime. So we look at month to month because otherwise, it would look like it has big jumps when really that's just what always happens. Now, I have been paying more attention to the month to month stuff just because the market's been a little wacky the last couple years. So I will touch on that a little bit in our report. But by and large, whenever we're looking at real estate trends, we want to compare March 2023 to March 2024, because the honest truth is real estate trends are definitely more of a long-term thing. Real estate trends typically are months to years, not days or weeks. Now, if you've been watching these videos for a while, you know that the last few months I've been predicting that more than likely we will see the number of buyers come back to the market in spring. More than likely we'll chew through the amount of inventory that we've built up in the last few months over the wintertime, with the result being an increase in home prices again. The market just isn't really set up for much else other than that at this point. It's primarily a supply problem with where demand is at currently. Basically, the number of home buyers has been pretty close to the number of homes that are being put up for sale. And basically, the number of buyers would swing based on the time of the year we are, and that's when the home prices go up for a few months and then they go down for a few months. That's why we've kind of been teeter-tottering the last few years. All right, well, let's dive into these Hillsborough County statistics. Total number of closed sales was down 17.4% to 1,264 homes. Total number of cash sales dropped 18.8% to 260. Median sales price went up 4.4% to $428,000. And average sales price went up 10.6% to $562,270 from $508,422. Median percent of original list price held relatively steady at 0.8%, currently at 96.8%, but median time to contract has dropped from 32 days to 29 days. So even though we're not selling as many houses as we were last year, what is selling quicker. So that's kind of the information to take there. Total number of new listings is up 9.8% from 1,678 to 1,842 new listings. Active inventory went up 32.3% compared to March 2023, and it is at 3,167 homes. Month supply, which I don't usually talk about, it's a bit of an abstraction in my opinion, but it is up 48.9% to 2.5 months. Foreclosures and short sales are at 7, which is not overwhelmingly disastrous. Now, I do like to kind of tip into the month-to-month stuff here because we do have to take that into context. So even though, for example, total number of closed sales has dropped compared to last year, we have come up from the January 4 low point, which was 874 homes, which is a ridiculously low number. We have never really had anything that low in the 5 or 6 years that is indicated on this chart. But we have rebounded relatively strongly, and we have been building through February and March as expected. Median sales price currently, we are not at the peak. We are down a little bit off that, but again, we have been on an upward trajectory for what has been selling. The interesting thing to me is that the number of new listings is above where it was in 2023. We had 1,678 homes listed for sale last year, and we had 1,842 listed for sale this year. So that's about 150 more homes, which again, isn't necessarily going to make or break a market, but that is a trend that has been continuing. Last month, we listed 1,700, which was higher than it was in February 2023, and so on and so forth. Total number of homes for sale, though, we are actually below where we were in 2023. And that's true for most of the country. Pinellas County was a little exceptional because their prices held stronger and with less inventory. But the last few months, they've really been building inventory up over there. But yes, we are above 3,000 homes again, which, so we're at 3,167 homes. Late 2022, like October, we were at almost 4,000 homes. We were up around 3,800 homes. So August, September, October, November 2022 was the best time so far as number of homes for sale. I had to go all the way back to 2019 to find more. Just with the way the market has worked, prices were also a little lower then. Now, prices currently are also lower than they have been. The question really is going to be, as we get further into spring and summer, will the buyers come back and will they start to outstrip the number of homes getting listed for sale, chewing through that inventory and pushing prices up higher as supply tightens? So I do like to break it down by sales price because $1 million home does tend to sell for a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 home. Just the buyer pool is a little bit smaller on the $1 million plus properties. But basically, again, demand is down across most of the price ranges with the exception of $1 million or more. 150 to 200,000, there was a total of 12 homes sold, which was a 55.6% drop. $200 to $250,000 dropped 36% to 32. $250 to $300,000 dropped 20.2% to 83. $300 to $400,000 dropped 21.9%, 402. $600 to $1 million didn't change as much. 202 homes sold, which was a 9% decrease. But then there was $1 million or more, which there's 110 of those sold, which was a 29.4% increase. Now, the thing to keep in mind is when you have every price category, closed sale, down, except $1 million or more, which is up a third, what impact does that have on median sales price and average sales price? Hillsborough County luckily has enough sales to where it doesn't yank on it that much, but Pinellas County, for example, where we only had, there was a point in time where we had 600 homes sold. Whenever you have that few data points and you throw some really big numbers in there, or you have a disproportionate shift in where the market is selling, then that does have a dragging effect on median sales price. But the good news is basically no matter what price point you're looking at, as long as it's above $250,000, is that there's a lot more homes to choose from. Unfortunately, $150,000 to $200,000 is where the first homes appear in Hillsborough County. There's only 16 of those available. $200,000 to $250,000 dropped 12.8% to 34. $250,000 to $300,000 was up 82.7% to 137 homes for sale. $300,000 to $400,000 was up 36.1% to 765. $400,000 to $600,000 makes up the bulk of the market. 38.7% increase to 1,169 homes for sale. And $600,000 to $1 million was up 28.7% to 624. And $1 million or more was up 13.4% to 422. So those are the market statistics for Hillsborough County for April 2024. Now, if you remember back to your math classes, you might remember average and median. So average obviously is when you take, let's say, 5 houses, you add up what those sold for, divided by 5, that gives you the average sales price. Median sales price is a little bit different. Median is the point at which there's an equal number of homes for sale at a higher price point and a lower price point. So a little bit different than average, but typically I prefer median home price because it tends to smooth out if there was a significant number of very expensive homes or very inexpensive homes that sold in a given month. And that becomes something that you have to keep in mind when the number of total sales has decreased, which is something that we have seen in the last couple years here. So whenever you have a fewer number of homes sold, then obviously any small change has a larger percentage impact on that sales price. So when we're looking at the Tampa Bay area here, I kind of just want to get at the crux of the matter here. There's nothing in these statistics for either side of the bay that points to decreasing home prices. Although I will put a little bit of an asterisk on that. So the previous months, I had been saying that I fully expected buyer demand to keep pace with number of new listings. They are still balanced enough that I don't think that there is a shift to the market. But again, this is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on for the next month or two, because that's really going to tail the tail. The monkey wrench in the works here is what's happened in Pinellas County, which is we've seen a surge in inventory. So like Hillsborough County, it seems very clear. It's been holding relatively steady for months now. Inventory has been building, but number of sales and median home prices still held. Pinellas County, though, that shift in total active inventory is significant enough that it's something that I want to keep an eye on, and I definitely want to put an asterisk on that. Now, the thing is, St. Petersburg is one of the more in-demand areas in Florida. So, it's up there with, Miami, Orlando. Honestly, and historically, St. Petersburg and Pinellas County, the homes over there sell for higher price points than homes across the bay in Hillsborough County. It's just a more in-demand area because of proximity to the beaches. So it always moves a little differently than the rest of the state. So I'm definitely not saying I called it at this point. There's not anything in these stats that immediately tells me that the trend is reversing at all. Pinellas County, that is something that I'll be monitoring for the next few months. The truth is in Pinellas County, it's an outstanding time to purchase a home. If all the buyers that we've been helping the last couple months, we've been able to get them outstanding homes across a variety of price points. And also, just the negotiation is a little more natural versus, how it used to be, where the seller would basically just be like, this is my price, and that's it. So if you've been thinking about buying a home, it is an outstanding time to purchase. On the flip side, if you've been thinking about selling a home, the truth is we are getting into peak market season here. Prices are going to steadily climb. Buyers are going to come in the market. Basically, spring is the time to start preparations to put the home up for sale. So if you've been thinking about selling the home, now is the time to kind of start that process, because it usually takes a month or two to get the house ready, and then it takes another month or two to get the house sold for an exceptional price. Now, the root cause of all of this, again, is the simple supply and demand. And it is because the last few months, the number of buyers has been pretty finely balanced with the number of new listings going up. Hillsborough County, that is still pretty balanced. Pinellas, it's kind of tipped in the inventory favor. The tricky part is usually need months of that inventory imbalance for prices to start to decline. And my hunch is that over the next 2 months, we will see the number of buyers come back. Anecdotally, my phone has been ringing a lot for people looking to buy homes in St. Petersburg and Pinellas County. But, my hunch is that, the buyers are going to come back and prices will be going up again in the summertime. So thank you so much for tuning in for my real estate market analysis and statistics here. My name is Kyle Sasser. I would love to help you find your own great place in the Tampa Bay area. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me at 727-300-2111, or there is a link in the description down below where you can book a chat at the time that works best for you. I try to make it as easy as possible for you. Again, I do one of these every month, so be sure to subscribe or leave me an email and I'll make sure to add you to that list. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.